Live from the Canadian capital, this is the GBN Television News. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
Imagine having the home of your dreams. Imagine investing in that piece of property you can call your own. Imagine finally doing that home improvement project you've always been thinking about. It's time to stop imagining and start doing. Let the GUT Credit Union help you take the first step with fantastic rates, affordable repayments, and reduced legal fees. Make the move. Get better terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
This is the GBN Television News for Thursday, July 15th, 2021. I'm Trellona Charles. In the headlines tonight, accused sexual offender placed on $150,000 bail. Pension hearing carded for October 29th following Thursday's court sitting. Trade union senator promises to bring a motion before the parliament to block mandatory vaccines. Aspiring entrepreneur embarks on ground provision flower production. In our One Caribbean hookup, St. Lucia police implement penalties for political vandalism as election campaign intensifies, and 33 killed in Germany as heavy rains trigger flash floods. And coming up in sports today, we feature world javelin champion Anderson Peters in his journey to Tokyo. Details right after this message.
Get high making money moves with the NLA's new Aces High Scratch game with 4 chances to win. Beat the dealer's card to win the prize shown. Reveal an A symbol. And just like that, you are automatically a winner. Scratch away to win the top prize of $10,000. Win easy with Scratch. Must be 18 or older to play.
Good evening. This is GBN's News at 7. Lawrence Bell has been placed on $150,000 bail with 2 sureties. All offenses for which Bell is being charged are bailable offenses. Bell has been charged with 18 counts of sexually related offenses, 9 incest, 5 sexual assaults, and 4 indecent assaults. Bell first appeared before the St. George's Magistrates Court on Monday, however was not able to secure bail and was remanded to Her Majesty's Prison until Thursday, July 15th. Representing attorney Anselm Clouden explained that the provisional adjournment to St. David's Magistrates Court did not materialize and was brought back to St. George's. Clouden explained Bell's bail conditions.
He was successful today in being admitted to bail in the sum of $150,000 with 2 sureties. He's to report every Wednesday to the St. David's police station. He's not to interfere with witnesses. He's to stay away from the victim and all those who are closely related to the victim. He cannot communicate with third parties that can communicate with the victim, or else he'd be brought back and bail would be revoked. So,
Bell is due back in court on October 15th. Public officers will have to wait for at least a few more months to find out their fate as it relates to pension, but it shouldn't be a drawn-out process. At least that is not what is expected by the lawyers representing the public sector unions. The historic hearing on pension restoration, which will determine whether public servants who joined the public sector after 1983 are assured a government pension, was heard on Thursday. Gerard Joseph has the details.
Lawyers representing public sector unions are hopeful for a judgment before year's end. Attorneys at law James Bristol, Rogers Ferguson and Cajetan Hood represented the public sector unions in the historic pension matter on Thursday. Speaking with GBN post-hearing, James Bristol says both sides were invited to write their closing submissions by October 29th and believes a written judgment will come in short order.
I would expect it certainly before the end of the year, and I would like to think it's there before the end of November, because The judge has already our submissions, which he read because he understood the case, and he just wants us to summarize our positions really as we articulated in person today.
He explains the reason for the lapse in time for the written submissions is because the court is due to close at the end of July.
I don't really see how the court can get around the McQueen case, being it's a Court of Appeal decision which declared the law to be, as it stated therein, that is the Pension Act, Chapter 233, which applies, and the other associated acts. We have prison officers, police, and we have teachers. That these are the acts, the original laws are the ones that apply, and we would like that upheld or followed rather. And if the government wants to appeal, well, that will be a matter for them.
Bristol says the Attorney General representing government put forward that NIS is the pension and the McQueen case is not applicable. The attorneys for the public sector unions presented a constitutional motion on their position in regard to the pension law to be applied for public officers who joined the service after April 4th, 1983.
To put our position that, relying on the case of McQueen and Chief Justice Byron as he then was, that the National Insurance Act never introduced a new pension scheme for public officers, in particular, as it was supposed to do. And therefore, based on the McQueen decision, the original Pension Act applies. And given that the old Pension Act applies, the Pension Disqualification Act couldn't take away that pension.
Government maintains it will await the outcome of the court matter and will be guided accordingly. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Government has confirmed that its legal team and the attorneys representing the public sector unions have just over 3 months to file their closing submissions. According to the government's release, October 29th was given as a deadline for filing closing submissions, and the court has reserved its decision. The critical matter for the court to determine is what pension law is applicable for public officers after February 22nd, 1985. Government's position is that pension payable to public officers is based on the National Insurance Act for officers who entered the service after February 22nd, 1985. As such, retired public officers who started in the public service after that date are paid pension in accordance with the NIS Act. The government's Pension Engagement Committee, in its negotiations with the trade unions before the matter being taken to court, proposed a top-up of that NIS pension payment to ensure that no public officer went home with a pension of less than 70%. Gerald Sampson is the daughter of a farmer from Black Bay, St. John, who uses ground provision to make flour. The mother and wife started the initiative just for her family, but decided to make it into a small business while taking advantage of promoting healthy eating. Rena Pear Thomas brings you another untold story.
Walking into our studio this morning was Miss Gerald Sampson, the producer of The Farmer's Daughter. And this unique brand, we're going to hear all about it and what exactly is The Farmer's Daughter. So Gerald, tell us a little bit about your product first.
So my product idea came about because I am originally the farmer's daughter, not only in the name of the brand, but also because I am a daughter of a son of the soil who has been doing gardening for over 40 years. And I used to always see my father come home and have a lot of produce, sometimes things that are not sold, and some of them would spoil. So I think the best thing would have been, of course, to find a way that we can save the produce as well as maximize the usage of it, so you have less waste. And I came up with The Farmer's Daughter. The Farmer's Daughter is a range of 9 different types of flours. All of them are local, all of them are from ground provision, except for corn. So we have 9 in all. And there are no preservatives in them, no anti-kicking agents. So persons can feel safe in utilizing products from this range.
And tell me, what are your flour made out of? Tell me the different products.
Okay, so what I'm holding right now is Yummy Yum. So we have Yummy Yum. We have Glorious Green Banana. We also have Blessed Breadfruit. We have Captivating Cassava. We have classic corn. We also have perfect plantain. We have tasty Tanya. We have delicious dasheen. And we also have satisfying sweet potato.
And you make flour
out of all of these products. So for persons who are on a gluten-free diet, this is perfect for you because most of our ground provisions don't contain gluten. As a matter of fact, if you want to make regular bread, because you can use it to make bread, cake, dumpling, porridge, whatever. If you're looking for that same texture that you get with regular bread, you'll of course add it to your regular all-purpose flour.
So tell me, where can people find your product? I mean, you're launching today, it's your first day, but what are your plans? What are your dreams? What do you want?
Okay, so hopefully I'm wishing that all of the supermarkets will be willing to carry the Farmer's Daughter, as well as the Marketing and National Importing Board, because I also want that the product reaches Carriacou. You know, our Trellona state, the sky's the limit. We don't know where it's going to head to. God is in charge of this venture, and I'm interested to see where he's going to take me with it. As a matter of fact, right now, I'm actually waiting to receive my certificates from the Bureau of Standards as it concerns the label.
How can persons contact you?
Okay, so I can be contacted at 536-0860 for persons who are willing to make orders.
You can also contact Ms. Sampson on her Facebook page, The Farmer's Daughter. For GBN News, I am Rena Pett Thomas reporting.
Do you eat healthy? It has been documented that good nutrition is pertinent in maintaining mental and physical health. Tonight's health segment focuses on the importance of good nutrition.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grand Anse, Victoria Street, Brentwood, and Central Deputy Street, Wharf. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
I've always been passionate about the work I do in caring, but I just really see the value in nutrition. It is primary health. It's about everybody's lives. Everybody has something that they deal with around food, so it's a common language. Food is really the gateway to health.
That was the Director of Food and Nutrition and Clinical Services at Washington Hospital Healthcare System, Kimberly Alvary, shedding light on the value of nutrition. However, the WHO noted that there is currently a new nutrition reality.
It is a reality where undernutrition, such as micronutrient deficiencies, stunting and wasting, overweight, obesity, and diet-related non-communicable diseases like diabetes and cancer now coexist in the same countries, communities, households, and even individuals. This, according to the WHO, is called the double burden of malnutrition, which impacts not only one's health, but also the health of the planet and economies. Their video production raises awareness on the double burden of malnutrition and its drivers.
We live in a world where undernutrition and obesity can exist side by side in the same country, home, or even person. Foods high in sugars, salt, and/or unhealthy fats are leading to unhealthy diets and are one reason why children may not be growing healthily, while causing other people to develop overweight or obesity. The consumption of unhealthy diets is heavily influenced by marketing. Easy access is fueling this new nutrition reality, but thankfully, change towards a healthier future is possible. By having a sustainable, healthy diet made up of a variety of foods that are safe for consumption, we can promote health and have better abilities to fight illness. How do we do this? Good nutrition for women during pregnancy and for children in their first 1,000 days of life, including breastfeeding, sets them up for healthy adulthood and future generations. We should eat more fresh fruits and vegetables, whole grains, pulses, nuts and seeds, and less sugary drinks and foods high in sugars, salt and unhealthy fats. The less of these foods we buy, the more the food industry will be encouraged to produce foods that contribute to healthy diets.
It has been documented that nutrition is considered a primary therapy because not only is it the foundation of many treatment plans, it is a building block of a healthy lifestyle. From diabetes to heart disease, experts say the effects of serious medical conditions can be managed, mitigated, or even prevented with good nutrition. Krista Campbell, GBN News.
This is News at 7. Coming up, Trade Union Senator promises to bring a motion before the Parliament to block mandatory vaccines. Stay with us.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Need a quick, convenient way to pay your bills and avoid lines? Use the online banking feature from Republic Bank, First Caribbean, or Co-op Bank. Contact them today to set up your online banking and enjoy 24-hour convenience to make your bill payments. Stay safe. Grenlec, we are united even when we are apart.
Looking for a professional team offering around-the-clock, private and confidential nursing, medical care, and aid services? Then look no further. Nurses Care Grenada is a fully certified, insured, and licensed healthcare facility committed to the reduction and eventual elimination of healthcare disparities affecting the nation. Our registered nurses will visit you at your home, assess your condition, and provide the required treatment under the directive of a doctor. So why worry when there's Nurses Care Grenada? Give us a call, 406-3928. Nurses Care, reliable, trusted professionals we can all depend on.
Hubbard's big promotion is back. Live free for 1 year. Spend $50 or more in any Hubbard's department and receive a chance to win big prizes every month. Property or vehicle insurance for 1 year. Free internet, cable, and data for 1 year. Free fuel for 1 year. Free cooking gas for 1 year. Free electricity for 1 year. Free drinks for 1 year. Extra cash account and the big free groceries for 1 year. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2021. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Solgas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carib Brewery, Coca-Cola, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenlec, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny and Supreme. Terms and conditions apply.
It's Black Friday in July at Courts. This Friday 16th and Saturday 17th. Switch it up with great deals on TVs just in time for the Olympics. Save $400 off the JVC 65-inch 4K Android Smart TV, now just $2,599. Or get the MasterTech 43-inch LED FHD Smart TV for only $1,199. Save $400. Shop today with Ready Finance and pay nothing for 60 days. Offers valid for a limited time. Friday 16th and 17th July. Shop in store and online at shopcourts.com. Enjoy Black Friday deals this week only at Courts. Courts, bringing value home.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot. choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
On Sunday, July 18th, get ready for the 25th edition of Waggity Virtual Bingo. For just $12 per ticket, you can win a grand prize of $10,000. Now that's a lot of money. If you're in Grenada, tickets are available at gotofed.com or from numerous box offices island-wide. And if you're playing from overseas, tickets are only available at gotofed.com. Sunday, July 18th, join the fun and excitement online, because whenever you hear this sound,
whoa, pressure.
Somebody's about to bingo.
Somebody finally pop up on the screen. Who's that lucky person?
Play Waggity Virtual Bingo, the new way to play bingo.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back. Labour Senator Andrew Lewis made a quick pit stop at the rally organized by the public sector unions on Wednesday to lend his support to the efforts, as well as highlight the motion he was seeking to bring before the upper house. The motion, he said, is seeking to ensure that vaccination is not made mandatory.
It is a long struggle. This is a matter that I tried to get. This is a matter that I tried to get in the Senate since last month, since early June. We are not successful. It's part of the struggle. This struggle will not be easy. I want to explain that to comrades. So I am taking a very quick break. I just cut on swallow to be able to come here to address this issue.
Senator Lewis recognized the SGU workers who participated in the march and rally and are now on the front line in the struggle against mandatory vaccination being enforced by employers.
Rebecca, my sister, long live. Your struggle is an important struggle, sis. It may take long, and I'm speaking to my SGU posse. Let's give a round of applause to SGU posse. These are the workers, comrades. These are the workers, despite what is happening, that has made a stand. These are the workers who have made a stand. And because of their numbers, the battle will be longer. We told you all that. But believe you me, when we say that we are totally committed to getting what is yours, it may take a long while, but comrades, for workers as you, we have to salute you. To stand for what you believe in.
Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sean Charles says the first batch of AstraZeneca vaccines in Grenada that were produced in India are engulfed in some level of vaccine politics.
The AstraZeneca vaccine was developed by the University of Oxford. All right, the AstraZeneca company is manufacturing the vaccine. The Serum Institute of India, all right, was licensed to produce the vaccine. All right, so it's the same vaccine. The Serum Institute of India was licensed to produce the vaccine. The Europeans have chosen to approve only the vaccine that is produced in Europe and not necessarily consider the fact that the vaccine is being produced under license by another producer.
He further explained the issue.
They are a licensed manufacturer, and I'm guessing in their thought, they did not need to relicense the same vaccine. All right. So there is some element of vaccine politics. There is a lot that is written on this subject. It is creating a lot of outrage because this vaccine was not only administered here in the Caribbean. It's the same vaccine that went to Canada, the same vaccine that went to the UK. All right. So, like I said, there is some element of vaccine politics that is occurring here, and we wait for the giants to solve this issue among themselves.
Health Minister Nicholas Steele says to date all COVID-19 vaccines on island are produced in Italy and are internationally accepted. He said the current stock of AstraZeneca is not from the Serum Institute of India, since those were all used up and the remaining sent to Trinidad and Tobago. The latest data shows that as of the 13th of July, a total of 35,468 vaccine doses have been administered. Grenada currently has one active imported case of COVID-19. Who gets the vaccine and when are not only serious questions in powerful countries, but also around the globe. Many believe that powerful countries might just be using the virus for political gain. Krista Campbell has the details on vaccine politics.
Cuba began its COVID-19 mass vaccination campaign more than a month ago with homegrown, unproven vaccines, wagering that they would prove effective enough to blunt the rapid spread of the coronavirus on the cash-strapped Caribbean island. The gamble appears to be paying off. The Cuban health authorities recently announced that their country's 3-shot Abdala vaccine had proved about 92% effective against the coronavirus in late-stage clinical trials. The announcement places Abdala among the most effective COVID vaccines in the world, according to data from clinical trials. Other countries like Russia, China, and India are all engaged in a type of vaccine diplomacy whereby they are producing and exporting vaccines to Caribbean countries. Peter Richards, editor of Caribbean Media Corporation, highlighted the political motives of developed countries where vaccine provision to Caribbean nations is concerned.
India, as you know, India is trying to be a heavyweight, quote unquote, in this new geopolitical situation. So you have India on the one hand providing vaccines. You have the United States, because of what was happening, China's voyage, if you want to put it that way, into the Caribbean and providing vaccines. The United States could not be seen as, hey, we're not going to send you vaccines. We are in the United States backyard, as they like to say. So you have the politics of vaccine also playing out. And that's another thing Caribbean countries have to deal with.
Dr. Terence Marshall added to the vaccine politics discourse on the Beyond the Headlines program.
The deliberate attempts on the part of the U.S. media, the propaganda machine, to suppress that information. You hardly hear anything about the Cuban vaccine. And all it has to do with, the influence of big pharma and all of that.
Cuba's vaccine news was seen as a rare cause for celebration on an island that has been hammered both by the pandemic and by U.S. sanctions.
I'm very proud because it's one of Cuban scientists' biggest achievements. It's taken a huge effort.
It has been noted that several countries, including Mexico, Argentina, Vietnam, and Iran, have expressed interest in Cuba's coronavirus vaccine. The high announced rate of efficacy could reinforce hopes that biotechnology exports will help lift Cuba from the depths of its economic crisis. Krista Campbell, GBN News.
Meanwhile, Minister for Health Nicholas Steele rolled out AstraZeneca as an experimental vaccine. He wants Grenadians to understand the difference between an experimental vaccine and an emergency vaccine. The AstraZeneca, Moderna, Pfizer, and other vaccines used by countries worldwide are for emergency use and not for experimental purposes. The health minister said the emergency created by the pandemic forced manufacturing companies to fast-track the production of the vaccine to be able to distribute to countries to help save lives.
3.5 billion doses have been given to date. In fact, it's now up to 22 million doses per day are being administered worldwide. And I think individuals need to recognize the difference between emergency use and experimental use. This is not an experimental vaccine. Emergency use means that the use is fast-tracked to make available because there is a global emergency to get it to as all the countries in a timely manner. That is the emergency that has allowed the use of this, not the experiment.
With Grenadians still hesitant to take the vaccine, Minister Steele assures Grenadians that the vaccines available on island are accepted internationally.
All the vaccines on island are licensed throughout. They are not the SII Serum Institute. We've used up all of those, or as we had announced, we had shared with the government and people of Trinidad the remaining stock of those. So all the vaccines currently are accepted internationally. The AstraZeneca the batch that we have is produced in Italy.
As of July 13th, 2021, 20,421 Grenadians have received the first dose of the AstraZeneca vaccine and 15,047 are fully vaccinated. Still ahead, Infrastructure Minister targets first quarter of 2022 to start work on the Molyneux land slippage area. This is news at 7.
Coconuts, rum lemon, passion fruit, sorrel, even the exotic spicy rum.
Ah, the flavored rums of Grenada Distillers Limited.
Class codes?
Yes, girl. They are all produced by the Grenada Distillers Limited in Woodlands. You know, all their rums are world-class and internationally acclaimed, winners of numerous gold medals.
The spicy rum.
Grenada's #1 rum. We drink it on sport. Add a little flavor to your life.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
The following is a paid political announcement. The views expressed are of the client and not the Grenada Broadcasting Network.
Employers lost their right in 1215. It is left only with a privilege, which is 1/3 of a right. Full right was given to workers from Magna Carta. Employers can only fire a worker for a breach of contract. Any organization which fire a worker for any other matter is a criminal. Workers must strike against the hotel industry and others which violate the 1991 treaty. A message from the Grenada Renaissance Party.
The preceding was a paid political announcement. The views expressed are of the client and not the Grenada Broadcasting Network.
Welcome back. Newly appointed Senator Rolanda McQueen is intent on making her mark in one of the highest offices in the land. She was welcomed to the upper house by President of the Senate, Chester Humphrey, on Wednesday. We get more in this report.
Newly appointed Senator Rolanda McQueen in her maiden speech says she hopes to make a positive impact on lawmaking, which will set the foundation for something greater for the next generation.
We as lawmakers are also standing here at a time when we need to strengthen rules and regulation that will protect workers, women and children against an expanding appetite for exploitation. That it, if not stemmed, will devalue our very nation.
The opposition senator called on government for openness, freedom of the press, transparency and access to information.
We need to stamp out corruption in all forms and places. Corruption typically results in many years of general hardship and suffering of the mass majority of citizens. Corrupt governments routinely ignore economic and social problems in the quest to amass even more wealth and power.
President of the Senate, Chester Humphrey, while welcoming Senator McQueen, explained that the laws are made for the purpose of good governance, the order, safety and well-being of the citizens.
Our role is a unique one and a very fundamental one because it gives expression to our belief system of democracy through representation of the people, for the people and by the people.
He admonished the new senator to cherish the honorable post, highlighting the expectations to execute her responsibilities and duties fully. McQueen, appointed under the recommendation of opposition leader Tobias Clement, says she is prepared to be a watchdog within the Senate for the rise of a new Grenada. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Some semblance of work should begin as early as the first quarter of 2022 in the Molyneux land slippage area. That's according to Minister for Infrastructure, Nolan Cox, during a recent tour of the site. We get more in this report.
With Cabinet already given its approval, residents of Molyneux are waiting with bated breath for the commencement of work on the Molyneux Road. According to Infrastructure Minister Nolan Cox, the Molyneux Road is at the preliminary design stage as being prepared by the consulting firm for approval by the Caribbean Development Bank. Since December 2019, traffic has been diverted through Montmorris due to the continuous land slippage that has been taking place in the area. Minister Cox has been making the rounds on a number of project sites during the past week.
Now, what would have happened thus far is that we have the completion of the study and suggestions as to options as to what implementation actions that we're going to take, in particular with Molyneux, in addressing Molyneux situation here, and also the entire roadway. You have a number of slopes to be stabilized. We notice a number of slides taking place with heavy downpours, boulders coming down. So all that will form part of that remedial work.
A number of businesses and homeowners have been inconvenienced, and as a result, some have had to find alternative accommodation.
A combination of negative impacts have evolved from just the slippage right here. And so we are working feverishly to have this done. The parliamentary rep for the area, Prime Minister, of course, you know, we met here a couple months ago with residents to update them as how we're moving forward. And he's very much on the pulse with this. And we are hopeful that as we move forward, that come the first quarter of 2022, that we will see some infrastructure work starting right here on the Molyneux site. We are working feverishly to have this done. That is where we are right now with Molyneux.
This project forms part of a 26-kilometer project which spans from the National Stadium to St. Mark. The minister explained what can be expected when this project commences, adding that for the other areas, slopes will be stabilized, roadways paved, and drainage and culverts will be installed.
On the recommended option from the consultants, we are going to have reinforced concrete on the top side of this road. This road is going to go back more inland, reinforced concrete on the top side of this road, and you have reinforced concrete on the bottom side of the road, and also a terracing of reinforced concrete go all the way down to the shoreline. That is, in a nutshell, what the scope will look like just for Mulling here proper.
Christina John, GBN News.
And now we turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Let's take a look around the platforms.
This is Social Buzz, where we shine a light on the thoughts and concerns of our online audience. Public Relations Officer of the Progressive Party, Rosemary Rajwant, said the establishment of a sex offenders registry may not be a viable option to curb the issue of sexual crimes in Grenada.
An insult to the many survivors. I feel like what's being communicated to the many victims and survivors and potential victims is that we're going to spend a lot of time talking about this issue, and at the end of all our talks, the most you can hope for is that we give perpetrators fame. You know, because I don't know if the intention is to name and shame, but naming and shaming only works for people who actually have shame.
Tonight we listen to the opinions of our online and listening audience as they discuss whether the sex offenders registry is enough or should there be an alternative.
This is the most repugnant thing. This thing is going too far, and we have to stop it. A total rethink of the judicial system and the penalties for these low-minded people.
In my opinion, the registry is twofold. Its intent is not primarily to be shamed, to bring shame to perpetrators, but also to bring awareness to who they are so parents and other individuals can be aware of these individuals.
Putting people in jail, shaming them, that cannot change a heart. People need to have an experience with God, a heart change, so that their behavior would be different.
Yes, it's time for that registry to be implemented. Name them, shame them, expose them with their photos. That's the most viable option, and a separate prison to house them so they can do what they enjoy.
I think we keep on talking, and it is solving no problem. I think what they're supposed to do is they bring something like an injection that would kill that, and then you still give them about 25 years in prison, for the least 25 years.
I am constantly hearing conversations about cure and never conversations about prevention. We fail to realize these offenders are not well, they are psychologically broken. While we need to work on solutions to deal with those already broken, we must be having conversations about preventing our men from becoming broken. For decades, the music and the radios, the visuals on televisions have been promoting misogyny and violence against women, and as time goes by, these stimulants increase, and it results in the increase of sexual crimes, not forgetting the toxic parenting and disastrous homes young men and women grow under. We must look at solutions. We fix the seed, then the fruit will be whole.
That's it for tonight's Social Buzz. If you would like to have your thoughts and concerns shared, be sure to comment on GBN's Facebook page.
From the thought process to the visual impact, it's time to take a peek through the GBN eyesore lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Clusters of yams take over tonight's GBN eyesore. Our citizen journalists dug up these moonshine yams and submitted two of the biggest ones. Of Grenada's variety of yams, moonshine yams have large roots with lots of legs, a red, white, and a purple version. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 4053052 or our other social media platforms.
Stay with us. The weather and sports are up next.
Calling all shareholders of the Communal Cooperative Credit Union Limited. It is your time again. You are invited to the 39th Annual General Meeting to be held on Wednesday, July 14th, 2021. Come be a part of the business of your credit union, learn of the 2020 performance, and participate in the discussions for the future of your institution. Register early for attendance at the Grenada Trade Center Annex or by virtual participation via the Zoom meeting platform. Look out for your e-report coming soon via email or WhatsApp. Starting time 3 p.m. sharp. This year's theme is focused on rethinking and redefining our business. It is your credit union, my credit union, and our business. For further information, please contact us at 440-1755 or 405-6670.
Bailey's Funeral Home, we understand the pain and grief you experience when you suffer the loss of a loved one. For years, we have helped thousands of families get through that difficult time by providing professional funeral services to meet their unique needs. Whether your choice is cremation or burial, call us or come into our new facility on the Carenage and meet with our arrangers in a spacious and comfortable environment. Choose from a wide variety of quality coffins and caskets at prices from as low as $1,900. At Bailey's Funeral Home, we believe that no one should feel overwhelmed or anxious about funeral expenses. So when it's time to plan a funeral, join a burial society, or make pre-arrangements when service and costs matter, call Bailey's Funeral Home at 440-2558 or visit us at baileysfuneralhome.org. Bailey's Funeral Home, still providing the perfect tribute any family can afford.
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered.
This is the weather for tonight and the next 3 days. Tonight's minimum temperature 24.5 degrees Celsius. The weather will be partly cloudy to cloudy with light to moderate showers and a low chance of thunder improving as the night progresses. Winds east-northeasterly to easterly at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Seas moderate with waves of 4 to 6 feet in open water. Tides high at 8 p.m., low at 2 a.m. On Friday, the weather will be mostly fair, breezy, and hazy. Sunrise at 5:51 a.m., sunset at 6:37 p.m. On Saturday, the weather will be partly cloudy and hazy with light to moderate morning showers. Sunrise at 5:51 a.m., sunset at 6:36 p.m. On Sunday, the weather will be partly cloudy and hazy, increasing in cloudiness overnight with light to moderate showers and a low chance of thunder. Sunrise at 5:51 a.m., sunset at 6:36 p.m. Good evening, sporting fans. World Javelin champion Anderson Peters recently took to social media in a show of appreciation to the Grenadian people for their continued support despite his performances not being his best this season. The Pan Am champion says he is not giving up hope, noting the decision to compete on faith this season. GBN continues to feature our Grenadian Olympians in their journey to Tokyo. Anderson recently had a sit-down with the GBN's Joseph Kador as we get details in this report.
2019 was a historic year in athletics for Grenada, whereby Anderson Peters won gold in the javelin in the Pan American Games and the World Championships. Anderson recorded his first gold medal at the Carifta Games in 2012, and it has been a myriad of achievements and awards in athletics. The world champion is now heading to his first Olympic Games.
Preparing for such a high-level meet is not just a physical thing; it's a mental thing as well. You have to be able to differentiate from when you're excited to when you're nervous and know how to handle each given situation. I mean, for throwers, you could be on your last throw, and you got to know how to keep that nerve intact so you could pull off a throw that could potentially put you on the podium or even give you a better medal chance.
Anderson first broke the national javelin record at the 2016 Carifta Games hosted in Grenada with a throw of 78.28 meters, which was also a Carifta record and his last year of participation. He went on to establish new national records in the javelin 4 more times, the last being at the 2019 Pan Am Games with a throw of 87.31 meters. The javelin thrower knows the importance of having a supporting cast to provide the confidence boost and calm in hand.
At any given time, you would need a given person to say, okay, I need a confidence boost. So, okay, I'm going to talk to coach. I need somebody to calm me down. So, okay, I'm going to call my mom. You know, like different people play a different role in an athlete's life.
Anderson, describing the mental state at the point of actually competing, says that's when reality sets in.
The first throw is always a critical throw. It's very critical to how the competition would go. Getting a really long throw in the competition will boost any athlete's confidence. But if you get like a small throw in the first round, you have to you tend to put a little pressure on yourself to get a better throw, and that's not really a good thing.
The world champion, elaborating on the rigors of handling the pressure from expectations, says for athletes on the national team it can be very challenging.
But the best thing is for an athlete is to not let those pressures get to him or get to her, because they could be crippling. You know, like it could have a positive effect and it can also have a negative effect. I mean, it's just you just gotta compete and have fun doing it. Whatever the athlete is able to accomplish on that day, I mean, it could have been worse.
Anderson recently graduated from Mississippi State University, where in 2018 he was named SEC Field Freshman of the Year and given All-American honors. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN Sports.
Meanwhile, with 8 days to go to Tokyo 2020 Olympics, Chief Thomas Bach says there is 0 chance of participants infecting Japanese residents with the coronavirus. These comments came on the same day that one athlete and several staff members at the Games tested positive in Tokyo. Al Jazeera's David Stokes reports.
The Olympic torch relay continues in Tokyo, but it's largely ceremonial, with the torchbearers only allowed to walk with the flame for a few metres. The state of emergency in the host city has seen the relay taken away from public roads, with no spectators. Restrictions are also impacting local business close to the venues. This fencing club across from the main stadium has been told to leave its premises until mid-September because it's being used by Tokyo 2020. Bad news for a small business already struggling with the impact of the pandemic.
With the sports industry already lacking energy, to now be told there will be no practice area is an additional blow. From a business perspective, it's going to be a big negative, in all honesty.
8 days to go until the Games, and coronavirus continues to cause disruption. On Thursday, the first athlete to test positive under the organisers' watch was confirmed in Tokyo, along with a member of Games personnel and 4 Tokyo 2020 contractors. 8 women rugby players from Kenya are also isolating after a positive case on their flight, and US basketball star Bradley Beal could miss the Games. He's isolating at their camp in the States, with his teammates set to fly out on Monday. The American women's football team is already in Japan, getting ready for an Olympics like no other, with no fans at all in the stadium.
It'll be really different, but we have to be able to imitate fans around us and kind of that sort of energy. We have to feed off each other because we're not going to get that from any outside audience or anything like that.
No fans, and the medal ceremonies will look different too. Athletes who win gold, silver and bronze will have to collect and present themselves with the medals to reduce the risk of spreading the virus. Despite all the complications, countries continue to send their teams to compete, including China, who have assembled their biggest ever delegation for an Olympics. All 431 of their athletes were unveiled at a special ceremony in Beijing, with the Games set to begin a week on Friday. David Stokes, Al Jazeera.
President of the Grenada Football Association, Chenny Joseph, believes that in order for Grenada to be taken more seriously in football, the GFA Premier League should only be played at the Kirani James Athletics Stadium. Chenny says this should be done until football can attract revenue and fans to the level it can become conducive to host matches elsewhere.
We can play other competitions involving our Premier League teams in these other venues, but I am strongly of the opinion to raise the bar of every aspect of our game. In Grenada, we should consider for the next 2 to 3 years playing all of our Premier League in one venue, which is the National Athletic Stadium.
The GFA president says such a move will allow greater organization from a GFA perspective, which gives opportunities for match officials to practice and then apply their skills outside of Grenada.
Secondly, it gives the players psychologically a higher feelings about the importance of the games they are playing, because now they are marching out on the field, they are walking out to the anthem, they are seeing fans well seated, they are playing in the best playing surface in Grenada, and more importantly, if we can film these games too, they know there's an opportunity for them to consistently play well, and hopefully one of them get a chance to play beyond our Premier League.
He notes this will assist in gaining sponsorships from corporate Grenada by offering them a deeper involvement in the game. The GFA attempted at the start of the 2021 Premier League to host all matches at the stadium. However, clubs rejected such a move. Moving on to cricket, Mitchell Starc held his nerve at the death to guide Australia to their maiden win of the T20I series by 4 runs after the West Indies almost blasted their way to victory from an improbable position on Thursday. Chasing 189 for 6, the West Indies needed 57 from 24 balls with 5 wickets left after Mitch Marsh took 2 wickets in an over, before fireworks from Fabian Allen, 29 from 14 balls, and Andre Russell, 22 from 13, turned the game on its head in St. Lucia. The pair combined for 4 sixes from 5 balls in the penultimate over from Riley Meredith, needing 11 of the final over. But Starc sent down 5 dot balls to Russell in the last to earn Australia a win, which makes the series 3-1. That's it for sports. Our One Caribbean Hookup is up next. This is your One Caribbean Hookup. Law enforcement in St. Lucia has called on the public to refrain from engaging in the vandalism of political paraphernalia. St. Lucia is in the throes of an intense election cycle, with the campaign intensifying in the days before the poll date. We get details in this report.
A brunt of flags flutter in the wind, dotting the landscape of St. Lucia as the country races into the home stretch of the general election campaign. A kaleidoscope of political party colors cover the landscape in various forms of campaign paraphernalia, from flags, posters, and billboards, all depicting the hues of red, yellow, green, and blue. However, some staunch party supporters are not hitting the trail in the spirit of tolerance and have chosen to desecrate political paraphernalia.
It is obvious this year that persons destroying, or if it's not your party, you destroy it and so on. And it happens whichever color.
According to the Commissioner of Police, Milton Daisy, vandalism, though not a new trend during the election excitement, has reared its ugly head once again. The Devious Act, he says, is against the law. The top cop has issued a strong warning to offenders to cease and desist from such actions.
First of all, you need to be responsible. Persons, you need to respect other person's rights, other person's property, and everything would be okay. But when this is done, they need the intervention of the police.
Law enforcement is reportedly fine-tuning its operations to provide full coverage island-wide during the upcoming general elections. The heated election cycle has already seen clashes between supporters of the various groups. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
Internationally, areas of the Northwest in the U.S. are bracing for another round of triple-digit heat as drought-stricken areas of the Southwest suffer flash flooding. ABC News' Mona Kosher Abdi reports.
This morning, new video from Arizona as monsoon rains send cars sliding down streets. Much of the drought-stricken region now under flash flood warnings. Emergency crews forced to rescue people trapped in the fast-moving water. This man and his daughter were stranded on the roof of their car in Tucson. Everyone was pulled to safety. As flooding rains pound the Southwest, to the north, there's no relief in sight for a region desperate for rain, with yet another heat wave in the forecast this weekend. Triple-digit temperatures and gusty winds making fire conditions even worse. At least 68 fires are now burning in an area nearly the size of Delaware. In Oregon, the bootleg fire now being called a mega fire, growing to an area nearly 7 times the size of San Francisco. Authorities say the fire will likely burn until late fall.
I wish we had something more than extreme to explain it, because it's historical fire behavior, historical drought that we're seeing out here.
That drought leaving many of the rivers dry. The state of California has been forced to relocate more than 1 million baby salmon 122 miles away to a hatchery with more water. And just over the border in Vancouver, millions of shellfish have been boiled alive due to the extreme heat.
Meanwhile, at least 33 people have died and dozens are missing, according to the regional officials, after heavy rains triggered flash floods in parts of Germany, damaging homes and disrupting transport. The governor of Rhineland-Palatinate state, Malu Dreyer, told the regional parliament there are people dead, there are people missing, there are many who are still in danger. We have never seen such a disaster. It's really devastating. Al Jazeera's Gillian Wolf reports.
This is the view from overhead. The picturesque German town of Schuld flooded after record rains. Much of the wine-producing region now destroyed after the Rhine River burst its banks, bringing down dozens of homes. Another 25 houses are at the risk of collapse.
There's mud everywhere in the houses. The bridge there collapsed, water overflowed. Further down, even houses have floated away. So it's an emergency, like World War II.
The flood has forced many to flee to their rooftops, waiting to be rescued. Others wading through waters, doing what they can to slow the floods. The government has declared a state of emergency and deployed the army. People in nearby towns have been told to leave the area. But rescue operations are being hampered Villages are cut off by floodwater and landslides, making them difficult to reach. Phone and internet connections are also down.
What you see here now is worse than after a bombing raid, and this is guaranteed to take 10 years. The people are all broke, the businesses have been hurt, so it's just horrible now.
The once-in-a-generation floods are not limited to Germany. Neighboring Belgium and the Netherlands have also been hit hard. And with the slow-moving storm retaining its power, forecasters say there could be more damage and disruption to come. Jillian Wolfe, Al Jazeera.
That's it for your One Caribbean Hookup. I'm Trellona Charles. Thank you for joining us. And now to recap tonight's headlines. Accused the sexual offender placed on $150,000 bail. Pension hearing carded for October 29th following Thursday's court sitting. Trade union senator promises to bring a motion before the parliament to block mandatory vaccines. Aspiring entrepreneur embarks on ground provision flower production. In our One Caribbean Hookup, St. Lucia police implement penalties for political vandalism as election campaign intensifies, and 33 killed in Germany as heavy rains trigger flash floods. And in sports, we featured world javelin champion Anderson Peters in his journey to Tokyo. If you missed any part of this newscast, the repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I'm Trellona Charles. That's the news. We'll see you again. Good night.